Hi, everyone, and welcome to this month's astro weather forecast. So, we have a lot going on for the month of July. I am recording this on the 4th of July, so happy 4th. It's a little bit late in the making, but I've been catching up on podcasts and some other things. So, let's start off with the highlights. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying the summer. It's actually very warm here already. It's like 9:30 in the morning. Um, so let's see. Today is the 4th, and today Neptune goes retrograde in Aries, and Venus will be conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And remember, that's at the anaretic degree, and then Venus will be moving into Gemini. So we have a lot of change going on. Um, I'm going to say like the really big one for the month is going to be on July 7th when Uranus enters Gemini. So we have the higher mind, the genius, entering into the sign of communication, the way we think, our thought process, the way we communicate, the way we learn. And it's going to be trine Pluto, the planet of transformation and personal power. I love this. It's exciting, but it's also expect the unexpected. So a lot can happen. I also want to say, well, I'm going to go back over this. Let me give you the dates first. You can write them all down, and then I'll go back and explain everything. So then on July 10th, we have a full moon in Capricorn. So that should be beautiful. Capricorn's all about structure, foundation, government, um, banking. Think big corporations. Um, Governments, especially with the everything that's going on in the world. Um, so we want to be mindful of that. July 13th, Saturn will go retrograde in Aries. So we will have Neptune and Saturn both retrograde at the same time as Uranus enters Gemini and Venus enters Gemini at the same time. And along with that, um, well, we have Jupiter has moved into Cancer, so it's settling in there. So it's going to expand a lot of things. And then on um, July 17th, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Leo, and that's going to form a sextile with Venus. So Venus is about self-worth. It's about, the way we love and value ourselves and others in relationships. So relationships could be tested around this time where new people will be coming in or possibly people that no longer resonate with you um, will be leaving your life. And July 20th to the 23rd, we have Mars conjunct the South Node. So the South Node is in Virgo, and the South Node is telling us that it's what we're leaving behind, number one. And it's also saying that as we move forward, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the important thing is that you take action, not that it's perfected. You start out, everybody starts out, everybody makes mistakes or isn't happy with their first videos. I still make mistakes on videos. I think I said something backwards on my podcast and I left it because I'm human. I'm human and we all need to accept the fact that we're human and those things happen. So with that south node and Mars conjunct that south node, Mars is probably going to want to push through. And it's almost the sense that um, Mars is a fast moving planet. So it's kind of like it's going to push through and it might not even be worried about the perfection. But then again, we have Saturn retrograde. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all plays out. And then we have Venus square Mars. So this is where the relationship part will be tested. A square is a tension. Okay. It can be very, very uncomfortable. It's some kind of tension. It's like I said before, it's the rubber band. The pulling of the rubber band and, you know, what comes back, what stays with us, and what is stressed to the point that, you know, either we let go or it breaks. in some way, and it just no longer serves us. So then on July 30th to 31st, we have Venus entering Cancer. So we have a pretty full month. Um, it's a lot, but it's not a lot. Like I said, I think the we're going to have, let's see, we already have Pluto um, retrograde. We're going to have Neptune retrograde. We're going to have Uranus retrograde. We're going to have Saturn retrograde. We're going to have Mercury retrograde. And somewhere in here, I don't have it, but towards the end of the month, Chiron is also going retrograde. And let me find that date for you. I know I put it in here. Just checking my notes because the way my brain has been working, I'm a Pisces, so we have a lot going on, people. A lot going on. So it's really, I want to say, interesting energy. And for those of you that know me, when I say interesting, it's kind of like, hmm, ah, you kind of sort of really don't know what it's going to do. Um, Uranus is expect the unexpected. And I think we're already seeing that play out, starting to play out, and we're already feeling it. What is that date? I cannot find it in my notes. Well, this is what happens when you write down your notes and you screenshot them. Ha ha ha. Can't find it. Okay, but we do have at the end of the month, Chiron also going retrograde. Um, so let's see. All right. So there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's going to be kind of a tough month for some people. It's going to be a little hard to prioritize things, especially with that all the stuff happening with the Saturn and the Neptune conjunction, because it's coming extremely close to the energy, um, the intense energy, I want to say, with both planets stationing retrograde for the first time in I don't I can't remember how long. Wait a second. I know I have it written down here. Huh. Okay, here we go. So Saturn, Neptune conjunct in Aries. So this energy, Saturn brings a dynamic structure. Okay, if you remember, it's structure, it's foundation, it's father energy. It's like I said before, top down. Think government, big banking, large corporations. We're going to see. Um, I'm going to say with Pluto already being retrograde, more deconstructing of the old programming, the old ways. Um, and this is difficult for some people because some people don't want to let go of the old ways. I would say let go and let God, and it's not going to be comfortable for a lot of people because Saturn brings in that structure, which can be very good because especially like water signs, they don't always have the proper boundaries in place. So this is going to be testing our boundaries. Saturn's also about boundaries. It's about time. Time's going to be very accelerated. It's going to be boom, boom, boom. And it's going to move even quicker than it already feels like it's moving. I can't believe that, we're already in July. Um, so while Saturn is trying to bring like some kind of structure, Neptune is dissolving the boundaries. So Neptune is the planet of great spirit. It's godlike in astrology and tropical Western astrology. And it can be your intuitiveness. can be disillusion. It can be um, everything basically. If you watch my podcast with Brooke, we talked about this a little bit. It can be everything from a newborn baby to um, prisons, hospitals, insane asylums, institutions, just everything in between because it's technically 12th house energy, and the 12th house carries all of the characteristics and archetypes and wisdom and knowledge of all the other signs. So it's a mixed bag. It's just like throw everything in the bag, shake it up, stick, close your eyes, stick your hand in there and pull something out. And whatever you get, you get. And Uranus, I want to say, is already in action because um, yesterday I went to the store to get something and my debit card wouldn't work. It was declined 3 times. And I'm like, I know there's money in this account. Like I said to the girl, I said, are you sure your scanner's working? Because, there's things have been glitchy. I had a problem with uploading video. And then I talked to a friend last night who had to actually have somebody come out and look at her computer, because we're in also pre-Mercury retrograde shadow, which starts 2 weeks before Mercury retrograde. And anyway, my card wouldn't work. My debit card would not work. And it's linked to my, my checking and my savings account. So I thought, okay, well, let me pull out a credit card because if all else fails, I just put out my credit card and then I, you know, go online banking and then just pay my credit card. My credit card went through, but my debit card didn't go through. So I come home, I call the bank and I said, my debit card's not working. I don't understand. I have such and such amount, the amount in the amount that I was using my debit card for was minute, it was a small amount. And the girl says, well, hold on. And she comes back on. And here they were updating or resetting their system. And somehow I, you know, my PIN number needed to be reset. So we did all that. It took me 20 minutes of holding online, and the girl fixed the issue in less than 5 minutes. And she was a sweetheart. I couldn't even be mad at her. And I wasn't upset. Like this is a lot of the energy too. Remember, it's the way we use the energy, the way we respond to the energy. Try not to jump the gun. Like don't shoot the messenger because remember the ricochet, okay? You point, you pull the trigger, and there's a ricochet. So whatever you're pointing, whether it be judgment or just whatever it is, or maybe your mind just automatically jumps to one thing. It could be your intuition, and if you feel like it's your intuition, don't question it, but stop and ask yourself, where is this coming from? Okay, with the behavior, with the emotions that come out, and we want to be proactive and use the energy to our benefit, and not reactive and shoot ourselves in the foot. Which yeah. It's I want to say it's going to be sweet and salty. Um, it's kind of like it could be very, very messy, but in a very beautiful, strange, beautiful, wonderful, expansive, explosive, disruptive, but mind broadening um, way that opens the doors for other opportunities for us with that Jupiter. So I'm kind of excited, and who knows? A week from now, I might be saying "f this, f that," and have a moment. But it's just the way it goes. It just is going to depend on your individual charts. This is why I always say to people, and this isn't me trying to push my readings or anything else, but if you've never had an astrology reading, this is what I want to say to you. Take the leap of faith. Use your Aries energy and learn about yourself. And, with things moving into Gemini, it's a really good time to learn something new. So why not learn about yourself or study something new or study astrology? I'm going to be teaching another astrology class in September, or learn oracle cards. If anyone wants to learn oracle cards or how to read, let me know. I mean, it's a simple thing, and it's very that's very expensive. Like I could teach you that in like, a day for 20 or $25. Like seriously, in less than 8 hours, I can have you reading, especially oracle cards. But you have to trust in yourself. So remember, a lot of this energy that's going on, some of it may be illusion, but you're going to be able, you know, I want to say you're going to be able to tell the difference. You're going to feel the difference. Okay. Be mindful too with things moving into Gemini because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Be mindful of the Mercury can be the trickster energy. So there will be those that will be saying or kind of pushing, like really pushy, and maybe you don't want to because people are starting to feel the financial squeeze with the changes that are happening in the world across the whole world because um, our our financial system affects the world's our economy affects the world's economy. Okay. Not that I think that we're overly special right now because I don't. I'm talking about the US, but there's just a lot of things in motion. So, there's no need to go spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for something that someone can teach you for 20 or $25 in a day. Now, if you want tarot, that's a little bit, that takes longer. It's a little more detailed. However, if you're someone who's really in touch with your intuition, go on YouTube, grab a video. Um, I teach it. Tracy Gonzalez teaches it. Um, let me, Bridget Biddy Tarot. She's out of Australia. She has pre-recorded classes. My classes are going to be pre-recorded. I'm in the process of doing that now, pre-recording and automating my things, and then having groups where we check in once a week and do a Q&A. But anyway, let me get off of that. I get sometimes I get frustrated when I feel like people are ripping people off. I'm sure that someone will get mad at me for saying that, but there's like this thing in the underlying energy of like my way's the only way, or the guru mentality, or like it's just misuse of power. And it's up to you to use proper discernment as to what is right for you and what isn't right for you, and not to let someone push you into something or take advantage of you with that trickster type energy. Like I want to say, um, the some of the nuts have escaped the asylum, and they're in full bloom, like running crazy. And some of these people are aware of it. They know that they're like trying to pull this cotton stuff on you or trying to rip you off. And some people, I'm going to say, honestly, are not aware of it. It's the way things are hitting their chart. And it's almost like they're stuck in this spiral, you know. And my best advice to everyone is if you feel like you are stuck in that spiral, to stop, pause, and breathe. Something that I learned many years ago, and Shirley always reminds me of. And just remember to stop, pause, and breathe. And you can find your center. Find your center. Let the storm swirl around you. You don't have to be a part of it. You could see it, you can feel it, but how you choose to participate in the energy is always up to you. It's always up to you. If you haven't learned breath work, that would be the number one thing I would suggest you learn breath work. If you have an oracle deck, um, start picking a card every day for yourself. Or go, again, go on YouTube. I'll probably be bringing back my daily dose of wisdom, and that's free. Where like I just pick a card or I do something every single day. It's like less than 5 minutes, like quick and easy tips, something to help keep everyone centered. I'm not going to lie to you people. I could sit here and candy coat a bunch of shit, but I'm not good at candy coating shit. And, if I fill you up with all sunshine and roses, um, you're going to be disappointed at the end of the month. And I don't want to disappoint you. I want to keep it real and keep it as positive at the same time. All right. So that you can find that you're going to have to go within. You're going to have to dig within. And some of us are going to have to dig deeper than others to find that sense of um, peace within ourselves, to find a way to navigate this energy. So if you haven't had your chart read, you know, I'll run a special, and anyone that's interested, you can contact me at robincarroll.com, or throw a message under here, or better yet, email me. Email me at bellsmountainllc@gmail.com, and I will put that under this video, and we'll try to get you in. All right, so let me get back to business. We're 26 minutes in. I easily digress, and I could just feel the energy. It's like supercharged, supercharged. All right. So with um, Saturn structure and Neptune dissolving boundaries, and they're both in Aries, this combination is going to highlight like the blurred lines between reality and illusion. What is real and what isn't, especially around identity, your own or someone else's, leadership, your own or someone else's, and ambitions. But I'm going to say collective ambitions and individual ambitions. And I'm going to say for the United States, because we are in our Pluto return, what are our national ambitions as a country moving forward? Okay, because this brings really intense energies. One planets station, what happens is they station before they turn retrograde. So it's called station direct. So the planet appears to not be moving at all. So when these two planets both stop moving, they're building energy. It's just think of a pot of simmering water, and it simmers and simmers and simmers until it comes to a boil, and then it's like boom, right? So they become stronger and more intense. So we're really gonna feel this energy. If you're highly sensitive, especially like the water signs, air signs too. Well, anybody can be highly sensitive, but I want to say especially like if you're a Cancerian or Piscean, um, or Scorpio, and people don't think of Scorpio as sensitive, but they are. Be really, really mindful. Make sure that you start immediately with meditation, breath work, walking in nature, walk barefoot in the grass, go near water, put your feet in some water. You know, I know Brooke told me she goes out and she just lays in the grass. Do whatever you need to do. You want to ground, go within, and remember, like into the I see. And I think that would be one of the mantras, into the I see, into the I, because what's happening around us isn't the whole, we're not getting the whole picture. We're not getting full clarity. What I want to say to people right now is that I know a lot of people are upset, especially with what's going on in the United States. And I know they're in fear because I can feel the fear in the underlying energy, especially when I'm around certain people. Um, and what I want to say is try not to be in fear, because what you're seeing happening right now isn't done. It's not done. It's not complete. It's not the way it's going to be. And can I tell you exactly how it's going to be? No, I can't. No one can. I don't know one astrologer who can. They could tell you the aspects, they could tell you the energy, they could tell you what they think. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. Right now, we're all shooting arrows in the dark. and hoping we hit the target. And some of us may, and some of us may not. All right. But trust in yourself. Learn to trust in yourself. That's going to be tested. Our trust, all of our trust is going to be tested in many different ways and on all different levels. So just remember that. And what's happening now is going to be like a preview of what's going to come like in February of 2026, because everything's going to go retrograde and then it's going to go back direct later on. So, oh my goodness. I also want to say, like, be mindful of, oh God, I don't even know what to call it. What people would call, I guess, the deep state fake, um, techie AI illusion, and somewhat political and military deception. It's very, very Newtonian, very, very Mars. Um, and with Uranus, like I said, expect the unexpected. But I would expect, here's my take on it. Take what resonates and what doesn't resonate, let it slide by. I feel like we're in this energy of tower plays that are being masked by illusion. Okay. While facades that appear to be structures or appear to be structured well are collapsing. So, in a sense, there's like this collective disillusionment. Okay. And that's the best way I can word it, because my, I always say everybody has something they don't like about their chart. And my Mercury is in the third house, which is a great placement, but it's in Pisces. So I feel, I see, but I can't always find the words. Sometimes I reach for words because I'm so visual. All right. We have Uranus entering Gemini on July 7th. Okay. So this is going to be a 7-year personal shift. Okay. Uranus is in Gemini. It's going to supercharge communication, tech, travel, all kinds of networking with other people, your social networks, your business networks, personal and professional. Um, I expect also travel. You may be invited somewhere, or you may feel called to go somewhere. Go. Um, because with Jupiter is also um, has moved into Cancer. So and with Cancer, it's that open heart, that expanding of the heart. We look, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, but we still need to keep our hearts and our minds open to the infinite possibilities. Okay. And some of them may appear to be illusion, and some may not appear to be illusion. And some will be wearing false masks, and some won't be. But I'm telling you that this really, really has a lot to do with um, this intense, all these retrogrades, happening at one time, and so many outer planets moving in such a short period of time. So much change that our mere little human minds aren't able to keep up with them all. Okay. So that we have to allow ourselves time to fully integrate and embody the changes that are happening. All right. So Uranus in Gemini is like uh, all forms of communication on super steroids. And this is where you, again, expect the unexpected. And then as soon as Gemini, Uranus enters Gemini, it's going to mean it immediately trine Pluto in Aquarius. Okay. So Pluto is your personal power. It's also death, rebirth, transformation. It's Scorpio energy. It could be associated um, with money, eighth house energy. It could be hidden money. It could be unexpected expenses. I definitely am feeling something around money. Okay. So be mindful of money. I've been saying that for, I don't know, about 6 or 8 weeks, but be mindful of money, sudden changes in money. Like, look what happened with my debit card. Like, the money was there, but I couldn't access it. So, you know, things like that. So prepare yourself in advance. This is why I'm saying breathe. I should have just started this whole thing with remember to breathe. And on the way out, remember to exhale. Remember to inhale, remember to exhale, and remember to complete the breath. We don't want to stay and not be able to catch our breath. And remember when we exhale, to fully empty the lungs, to fully just like like get rid of it. It's like taking the trash out to the curb. Kick it out. Kick it out. Okay. Go lay down, Maverick. Not now. All right. So let's see. But a trine it's a beautiful aspect. A trine allows flow. So when you think of trine, think of flow. But what kind of energy is flowing? We don't know. It just means flow. I look at it as a positive aspect because it does allow flow. So however it's impacting you, if it's hitting you hard, know that it's an energy, a passing energy. Don't get stuck in it. Don't dwell on it. Try to look beyond it. Okay. And if it's a positive thing for you, harness that energy and ride the wave. Ride it all the way through. Okay. Just like being on a surfboard. You don't get off until you hit the shore. All right, let's see. So, but Uranus too, it's like this is where AI is gonna like really, really accelerate. Like it's not already accelerating already. I think I read or heard somewhere that it's tripling or doubling every 3.5 months. So its ability to um, take in and put out information. But remember with AI as well, AI is programmed by humans. It is not always 100% accurate. Be mindful if you use it, be mindful of it. I would like to say I've kind of had this thing with AI. I don't think it's something we should fear. I think as long as we control it and it doesn't control us, it could be addictive. So be mindful of that because this AI is so advanced now. All you have to do is make a couple of inquiries. I saw on somebody's page and they said to me, I tested AI. I can't believe how much it knows about me. Well, really, because it's just gone through your Facebook, your Instagram, your X, your Blue Sky, anything and everything you've ever put on the internet. It's basically just gone through it in less than 60 seconds. Of course, it knows everything about you. Okay, so let's not be fooled and make AI God. AI is not God. It's a tool, and I think it's a tool that can be used for wonderful, beautiful um, technology moving forward as far as like medical technology and things like that. Do I think you should use it to write your book and pass off somebody else's words as your own book? No, I feel that's really, really inappropriate and disrespectful to the people that actually do put in the time and the effort and the real work. Okay. Um, could you use it as a research tool? I would say, yeah, I guess. In a way, I guess it's no different than using Google. Um, ex, you know, remember and be mindful of everything that you do because we are now in an era where, forget it, there is no privacy. If you have a smartphone, if you have a computer, if you have um, anything that connects to the internet in any way or a satellite in any way. I mean, look at the what is it I have in my car? Um, where if you break down, you push the button and they can something star it's called. I can't forget what it's can't remember what it's called. But they can find you by satellite and they like if I lock myself out of my car and they can unlock my car from me, remotely for me. Like things like that. So there is no hiding unless you're 100% off grid. There's just there's no privacy. So you want to be mindful what you put out there because whatever you're putting out there now is out there forever. Even if you think you've deleted it, it is still somewhere else. So think about what you do before you do it, that Mars is going to want you to move forward, and there's nothing wrong with moving forward. What we want to move forward with mindfulness, Saturn. Okay. And since Saturn's going to be going retrograde, we're going to be going back over some things. Okay. We're going to be, and Pluto's retrograde. So we're deconstructing to reconstruct. All right. And what is real and what isn't real? Neptune. Okay. Especially in retrograde. So I want to say, like, I'm not really sure if I want to go here, but I'm, it's in the astrology. Um, Also with AI, we want to think of obviously, it's no secret. There's wars going on everywhere. Every day there's a new war. People are focused on two or three different wars, but there's over 40 wars going on in the world right now. And when we think of war, we automatically think of missiles and drones and, bombs and those kinds of things. But there's also the the what do you call it? Internet war. You know what I'm talking about. Jesus, my brain is just moving so fast. My body literally cannot. My brain cannot keep up with the energy that's coming in. So we want to think about that kind of thing because with the Uranus Pluto activation, even though Mars is in Virgo, um, we just want to be mindful. We want to be mindful of being hacked. I don't know why I can't think of the word, so I'm going to use being hacked. Anything that has to do with the internet, you know, um, check your protective, your malware, whatever software you use to protect yourself. Protect yourself because I feel like something might come in like through an email or attached to something else, and it's like um, cloaked. Like you open up your email and like all of a sudden there's like you lose everything. So don't open emails from people that you don't know. Um, or just be really, really mindful of your information and how it's used because all of this energy is going to be, it's like we're going to be bombarded with communication, but it's going to be like mind, body, and spirit, like on all levels. Um, and we might not, we not, it's going to be disruptive to what we would consider to be our normal routines or behaviors. Okay. And it's going to transform industries, which we're already seeing. Like, I think it was Microsoft just laid off a bunch of people, and Amazon, which I don't know why Amazon laid off people because they're late with they keep delaying my packages. Like, they're not coming when they're supposed to. But then again, it's in the energy. It's in the energy. So just like a sudden influx of, I want to say, really strong, quick moving energy. Okay. And Mercury retrograde in Leo. So that'll be Mercury will station. We're in the pre-shadow now. It stations on the 17th. Um, so it'll be the strongest, like say the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. Yeah, Mercury's like it takes Mercury a while. It stations and it turns and takes it a while to move. And when it's in retrograde, it kind of, it's like warming up the engine on your car on a cold winter day. So, um, mid-July, um, definitely. And then it will station direct again in early August. So what I would say is from about, what's the date today, the 4th. So what I would say is from like now until August 11th, just be mindful of anything you sign, commitments that you make, um, the fine print. Mercury retrograde, retro, review, revise, renew, revisit, regenerate. So just remember, if you're in that funk or you're getting hard, that you're in a place of healing. You're rehealing, revisiting. Chiron's going to go retrograde as well. Something from their past may come up, especially childhood wounds. But this time we get to release them once and for all because Saturn is related to karma. Okay. It rules karma. So there's going to be a karmic release as well. All right. So the retrograde starts with Venus sextile Mercury, which may bring back, I'm going to say, like pleasant memories, things that make you happy. But then when it the stationing direct may trigger um, like opposing types of energies coming from Pluto or that Mars, Saturn, Neptune kind of group thing going on, making August somewhat chaotic. Some chaos and conflict is it's in the air, but it kind of always is. I think it's, well, not always, but I just think it's more how we handle it. I think the more prepared we are for it, then the easier it is to navigate. And when something happens, we can be like, oh, okay, it's Mercury retrograde, whether it is or not. Just tell yourself it's Mercury retrograde. And then, with Uranus, expect the unexpected. With Mercury retrograde, expect delays, expect, something to break. And if it doesn't, great. And if it does, you're prepared, and, don't celebrate too early because, we, we have from now till August 11th. So, um, so mid-July is kind of reflective. I want to say it's creative energy. And at the same time, it's like recreating and re- rediscovering our creativity. And remember that Saturn rules time. So even though the time may seem accelerated, not to become overwhelmed because we do have enough time. There's always enough time. Okay. So like late July into um, August, expect some tension, miscommunication, and technical technology issues. Okay. Be really, really mindful. Check and make sure that your um, whatever your antivirus software is working. Make sure it hasn't expired. Make sure, to be mindful around that. I'm feeling that really, really, really stronger than anything else. And of course, with Mercury, we know that there could be miscommunication. So you can expect me to probably talk somewhere backwards or reverse my words in this video. And it'll sound perfectly normal to me until I rewatch the video. So I will apologize in advance if that happens because it seems to happen on a regular basis since I got my concussion last year. Um, I thought it was all gone until I went until I watched a replay of my video. All right, so we have the full moon in Capricorn on July 10th. So this is going to illuminate, okay, um, career, structure, father energy, foundations, boundaries, time, all the things that Saturn ruled Capricorn represents. Okay. Um, Capricorn is also you may be thinking about your legacy. Okay. Capricorns are very hard workers. they think about their legacy. They, yeah, like I always say, like they make their will, like they plan their life, like they have their whole life planned by the time they're 5 or 6 years old. Like literally in kindergarten, they know what they want to do. Um, and they plan for that throughout their life, whether they're fully aware of it or not. And remember, like it's also the karma, the past karma and father energy. So something may come up around your father or something, some kind of a strong, maybe pushy type of masculine energy. But try to think of this push as a push forward into something positive of letting go of what no longer serves you because it's a full moon. So we're letting go of what no longer serves us. So, but you know, again, we have those boundaries under that Saturn, Neptune, um, ret, uh, getting retrograde pressure cooker kind of energy. So it's like popping a cork on a bottle of champagne. So there could be a lot of eruption, disruption type of energy. And then the new moon will be in Leo on July 24th, which is one of my BFF sisters' birthdays. Um, so this is a powerful moon. You know, Leo is ruled by the sun. So we have the sun, the moon, new moon, which will be a dark moon, a new moon in the sign that is ruled by the sun. So we have mother and father energy, divine masculine, divine feminine coming together. So the sun rules the right eye and the moon rules the left eye. So it's masculine and feminine. It's the yin and the yang. It's the um, allowing the release of what I want to say, the narcissistic, controlled type of unwelcomed masculine energy that has been out of alignment and stepping into that more balanced masculine, divine, feminine, yin, yang energy. Okay. You have to excuse me. I'm dog watching on top of having my two dogs. So expect sparks of tension between like authentic, genuine self-expression and external power dynamics. So what I'm saying here is what you're seeing on the outside may not be resonating with what you're feeling on the inside. So stay true to yourself, no matter what anyone else tells you, including me, because it's going to hit everybody's chart differently. And I can't see everyone's chart. I can only see the collective energy or my chart, or if I've read your chart and I might remember your chart. So certain people, I remember certain aspects in their chart. Like I'll share this because it's on YouTube. I did the interview with Brooke because she's a double Cancer. Okay, she happens to have Mercury retrograde in her chart natally. So Mercury retrograde doesn't really bother her the way it bothers some people. I always find the energy really interesting. I laugh at it. I kind of, like it. Most people will tell you don't start anything new during Mercury retrograde, but if you're really feeling called and it's really, really powerful, I'm going to say to you, I know somebody very, very well known in the spiritual community um, who purposely will create events on Mercury retrograde, and they're always very successful for her. And she loves Mercury retrograde. So if you're somebody that has that in your natal chart, again, this is why it's important to know your chart. Um, then go ahead and do it. Just be mindful of the fine print. That's all. Just check it and recheck it, and put a second or third pair of eyes on it, not just yours, because sometimes we're looking right at it and we don't see what's on the end of our nose. All right. So mid to late July, we have Mars and Venus. Um, uh, activity around the nodes. So Mars is going to conjunct the South Node. Okay, this is where we're releasing, right? South Node is in Virgo, and so this is going to help us release and purge the things that no longer serve us, especially things that have to do with Virgo type energy. Virgo is about, I always call it the person of service. It's your doctor, it's your nurse, it's your police officer, your fireman. But they're also very health oriented. Your vegetarians, they like to eat healthy. They like to grow their own food, plant medicine, things like that. So again, if maybe you decide you want to become a vegetarian and you start researching it, understand that baby steps. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's hard to go full blown vegan, vegetarian or vegan overnight, So, maybe one week you cut out red meat, maybe, and, you cut out, you know, pork, and then you cut out something. Do it a little bit at a time, and think about how far you're willing to go with it. Some people don't are to the point that they don't eat eggs and dairy. I do eat eggs and dairy, and every once in a while I do have a burger, and I don't beat myself up about it. So releasing the mindset of everything has to be perfect and it has to be immediate. We need to have patience here, people. And it's going to be difficult in this energy to maintain our patience. And I want to say the our reactions. Try not to be overreactive in a way that hurts yourself or someone else. Try not to be judgy. It's hard. And you know, I always try to say, remember, whenever you judge someone else, we're all reflections of each other. You're judging yourself. Okay. So then after that, we have Venus is going to square Mars. Um, so this is going to, we have the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. Again, this is going to like really intensify and be really, really uncomfortable. The relationships between the masculine and the feminine, gender, things around gender may come up. There's been a lot of things in the media about um, um, what isn't considered, you know, uh, what Jesus, I don't know how to say this. What structured religious systems consider to be acceptable, such as homosexuality or marriage between the same sexes or transgender or things like that. A, a lot of tension around that. A lot of, and there's no judgment here. I'm open and I accept everything and everyone, but not everyone is me. So be mindful to not place yourself in situations that may be unsafe for you if you fall into that LBGTQ community. Okay, just be mindful. Okay, and then with Mercury retrograde, communication is going to be chaotic, and Uranus is going to be there as well. So again, expect the unexpected. Emotions are going to be running high. There's going to be friction. There's going to be malalignment or misalignment. Um, with our intentions and our actions, or our desires and our intentions and our actions. All right. So that's really important. We also have um, Venus and Gemini and Cancer, July 4th and July 30th. Okay. Um, so this is going to enhance your sociability, charm, um, intellect. Okay. Because that's what Gemini is. It's our intellect. Okay. And after that conjunction with Uranus, expect some excitement. Here's where we're going to expect the unexpected. And then moving into Cancer, it's going to like shift focus um, towards what is Cancer. It's our emotions. Cancers like to feel safe and secure. Um, they're very mothering energy. Okay, so this type of um, how can I say it? This type of energy, I'm going to say it's going to be tested by that Saturn Neptune tension, where you may be questioning your safety and security. Okay. So be mindful of that. Um, oh, Pluto is always described as the underworld. Pluto is going within. It's the shadow work. It's where I feel we learn and the most about ourselves and our own personal growth and transformation. So don't be afraid to go deep. Go deep because there's light in the darkness. I think that's where we have our most brilliant aha moments. And with with Uranus, it's like it's your genius. So don't be afraid to go to places that you haven't gone before. This is where the healing and the transformation begins. This is where you may find your genius. This is where, again, expect the unexpected. Don't think about everything because it's retrograde. Don't think of it as a negative. It's not a negative. This is giving us a chance to revise, renew, review, to maybe make changes that you know we didn't make in the past because we were afraid before. We don't have to have that fear now because now we're releasing that fear. And don't be afraid to release the fear. It's change, and change is always uncomfortable. And I want to say this as well. Do not confuse the discomfort of change with fear because they're similar but very different energies at the same time. Discomfort moves through our body, and yeah, we feel uncomfortable, but we're able to push through it. Fear is when you're frozen, and you don't want to become frozen. Okay. All right. So we have Jupiter, um, heliacal rising in Cancer on July 15th. So this goes combust to like the visible. Okay. But it brings this hopeful, uplifting, and benevolent type of energy because Jupiter it's the great benefic, okay? So it's beneficial energy in Cancer, in the house, in home, and in your emotional security. So wherever you feel you might have lost that, now it's going to start coming back. This is like a month of ride the waves. Ride the roller coaster. I don't even want to say waves. I want to say the roller coaster. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's up, it's down, it's down, it's up. So this is going to hit around, um, well, the 15th. It's the middle of the month. So this is going to be like a point that marks some kind of support around growth, and gentle strength around your emotional resilience. There's going to be some kind of a relief. It's going to be where that pressure valve starts to loosen. Okay. So, um, all in all, this Jupiter in Cancer on the 15th, this like it's a long it's what it's offering us is this long-term healing and supportive type of energy. So think uplifting. Okay. So this is where we get to reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make the world a better place if you can, like the song. We want to rise up. We want to rise up. So let's see. Watch out, sweetheart. Watch out, baby girl. I have the dog on my foot. All right. So a quick review, and we will be done here. All right. So overall, number one, collective illusion versus truth. That's the Saturn Neptune retrograde. I like it's like priming the well. It primes the month for using discernment or a reckoning is what I really want to say, um, with deception and what I would call, um, theatrical, political uh, illusions, deceptions, reality. This is going to make us really question our truth, okay? But it's like a reckoning with deception, and especially in the political landscape, okay? Especially with that Capricorn, because that house, wherever your Capricorn is, that rules all, like, very, very connected to government and to huge corporations and banking as well. Um, Illusion around AI, and remember what I said earlier about the false masks. People who say they're something that they're really not, and the masks are going to start falling off. Maybe someone that you've respected and followed for years and years, you're going to find out that person is not at all who that you thought they were. Okay. It's going to be almost like there will be times of complete and utter clarity and times of complete and utter disillusionment. So you'll be questioning yourself, questioning your own sanity. And what I want to say is don't do that. Your body never lies to you. So even if you can't trust your own brain, go into meditation, sit in silence, and feel. Allow yourself to feel. We are still in Cancer. Cancer needs to feel the feels. Cancer is very intuitive, okay? But be mindful of the illusion, especially coming in around Mercury retrograde, especially with Neptune retrograde, especially with Saturn's giving us a chance to go back and fix whatever it is we might have effed up. And maybe we didn't F up anything. And maybe this will be a really smooth transition for people, okay? For some people. And other people, it's just going to be tears. And if you need to cry, cry. Because remember, tears carry energy and it's cleansing. Water is cleansing, okay? So there's going to be a surge in innovation. That's the Uranus and Gemini plus the Pluto trine that we talked about. That this is a mark of what I want to say, a change of a rapid change, like an error of change, ERA, in communication tech, again, AI, and very, very quick, fast paced. Like, I'm going to say it's just impossible to keep up with it. It's going to be fast paced and very unpredictable energy. So it'll be like, there may be like some distractions where it's like I said before, like you're standing in the middle, the eye of a storm, and it's like you see these bright, shiny things, and you're just grabbing at everything. Like we need to use discernment at what energy we're grabbing and pulling in towards us. Okay. So communication roller coaster, especially with Mercury retrograde and Leo, fiery Leo. And listen, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask a Leo because they have no problem telling you the truth and they will give you their version of the truth. So if you ask for it, remember you asked for it, okay? Because you're going to get the truth, and it could be very blunt truth, okay? So be prepared, okay, for it. But Leo's also very creative. So Leo can tell you to go F yourself with a smile on their face and actually make you smile. But they really truly mean it. And you might think they're joking around. And then sometimes they are joking around. So again, this whole month is just kind of like, what the F? You know, like you have to, this is what I want to say. Learn to laugh at yourself. If you have not learned to laugh at yourself, learn to laugh at yourself because we're going to really need to learn to laugh at ourselves. And when we think about it, we think about human beings, of all of the mammals on the planet, we're really the only ones that can laugh at ourselves, and maybe dolphins. I don't know. I always just love the way they flip over. I just think they have this really cool. I think dolphins can laugh at themselves. I think dolphins laugh at us because they're smarter than us. Okay. So I digress again. All right. So, but Leo's also very creative, um, but it can be pushy sometimes, especially like when the stakes are high. You know, if it comes down to you or them, you're out. Trust me when I tell you, you're out. Um, but anybody that has a friend or a family member that's a Leo, you know that they're fierce, you know that they're stubborn, you know that they're dug in, and you know that they have beautiful, beautiful hearts. Just really beautiful hearts. And Leo does rule the heart. So remember that. All right. So emotional peaks and tensions throughout the month with the moons. We talked about the moons. They're going to spotlight. They're going to shine light on um, the structural pressures of Capricorn um, and the Leo Pluto power dynamics. So we want to think about our personal authenticity versus power dynamics. Okay. And I would say, along with that, our personal power and authenticity, because Pluto is about your personal power, and this is where the transformation happens, people. And when you have the sun and the moon together, I would definitely say there's going to be some kind of a reset. And I'm also going to say this. I feel that gifts are coming online with that. Everything that's going on, like I don't know, I'm thinking about it and I forgot to put it in my notes because I know I thought about it before. But like this personal reset where like Brooke and like I felt telepathy around her. She's a double Cancer with a Gemini moon, and Uranus is getting ready to move into Gemini. And I'm just like, I felt telepathy around her. And this was like an intuitive type of thing. It wasn't in the astrology. I can explain it and I can unexplain it at the same time. But the way it showed up in her chart, and I feel like for some people, well, for everybody, you're going to feel like you're being plugged in. But what you're being plugged into, again, is going to be your choice. You need to use discernment. Are you going to plug into that AI and let it rule you? Are you going to plug into that AI and ask it a question? And are you going to, because I'm not a big AI person, but from what I understand, like you train AI for your needs or to suit whatever it is you want it to do for you. So you can, I don't mean train it like a dog. I mean, I guess program it. I don't know what wording to use. You could tell I'm not techie, okay? Like I can't even do TikTok, people. I forget I have Instagram until I get tagged. Um, so, but it's like you're going to be lit up. You're going to be turned on. It's like all of a sudden your eyes are going to be open. Like you're going to see things in a new way. The colors are going to be brighter. You're going to be smarter. Like one day you may wake up, and I love when people say, "Oh, I'm not psychic" or "I'm not intuitive." Everybody's intuitive. It's just the way it's if you're open to it or not. And it's like one day you're going to just do something, and then you just it's going to feel very natural. You're just going to do it, and then you're going to stop, and you're going to be like, where did that come from? What was that? And where did it come from? And how did I do it? So don't like overly focus on it. Just allow it to happen organically. I think sometimes the harder we try, the more we're pushing it away because we want it so badly, but we have to be patient because it comes to us when it's time, when it's the right time for us. And for each person, that's different. Okay. So I just like it's like hitting like if your GFI switch flips off and reset it. Just hit the reset button, or like you're resetting your Wi-Fi or your router, whatever. Um, Again, you can see how tech savvy I am. I don't even know what it's called, but it's that kind of energy. So I keep saying be prepared for it, but I don't even know how to prepare you other than this video. Just keep expecting the unexpected. Take it as it comes. Try to maintain a positive energy. Um, Reach for the sun, the star, and the moons, but use discernment and watch for the trickster energy of the Mercury retrograde and all of the doctors and lawyers or the fake doctors and lawyers on Facebook trying to pick up all the pretty women because they're all doctors and lawyers and when you're looking for baby mamas and a bunch of crap. It just all that's going to fade away. It's all going to just come to the forefront. Like we're going to be able to see through the illusion eventually. and more truth is coming out. And I actually feel really bad for some people because they're so set in their ways that when it hits them, it's going to be a major blow. Um, so I want to say that there's this undercurrent, underlying energy as well of joy and hope. And because that Jupiter mid-July in Cancer brings that renewed kind of feeling of um, the emotional support and foundation, where we feel safe and supported again, um, even though we know we're in the midst of chaos and conflict. Okay. So that is it. I just want to say, um, again, all the outer planet stations and shifts are going to really, you know, they're going to really set a lot of, it's like hitting a domino, you know, it's a domino effect. So expect a lot of, you know, internal reflection, especially around the moons, and allow the transformation to happen. And remember that, this is how personal evolution comes into being, and be mindful of your communication. Um, think about what you're saying before you say it, because once words are spoken, they can't they can't be taken back. They can't be undone. Okay. And mid-July too, like as that momentum is building with Jupiter, you know, I want to say this is a Phoenix rising type of energy. And with Uranus and that accelerated energy, it could really just, I mean, you could just fall into something wonderful and beautiful. We don't always have to step into shit, people. You could just step into something wonderful and beautiful. And, but I want to say that's more towards the middle of the month, um, for a few days, and to just be mindful of the disillusion, um, and the Mercury and all of the retrogrades, Mercury retrograde. Okay. So with that, I'm going to end. I want to say I wish you all a beautiful month. Again, you can reach me at Bells Mountain LLC at gmail.com. You can leave a message under here. If anyone would like a reading, I'm going to be running specials on the astrology readings because I feel like this is a really important month. So if anyone would like a reading, you can contact me through the email. You can also contact me through my website at robincarroll.com. I would say it's best to email me because I'm not on my website every single day. So it's best to email me because the email attached to the website is a different email that is just for that website. Okay, and that's for safety, personal safety with my website. I don't need my website crashing, people. So be blessed, be well, be mindful. Remember to breathe. Remember to inhale deeply to completely fill the lungs. Remember to exhale fully. And remember to release the perfection and step into the new energy with an open heart and an open mind. Be blessed, be well, and namaste, everyone. Loads of love to you.